Nigeria is not an island unto itself. Our neighboring countries, of course, Nigeria creates a very big market for them. Today, there are a lot of economic activities going on between Nigeria and the neighboring countries.
Well, not quite long ago, we had a talk with your colleague, the Minister for Works, and we saw a whole lot, that is going on in that particular sector. Perhaps with your sector coming in, we'll have less and less, pressure on our roads. Away from the rail lines, are you also thinking of exploring and expanding our water transportation, if we have any at all?
Yes, of course, you are fully aware that the government has put a lot of effort, and indeed still putting a lot of effort in the development of inland waterways transportation. The government has dredged the lower river Niger. The capital dredging has been completed. The maintenance dredging is on at the moment, and as a result of that, transportation within the inland waterways, particularly within the lower river Niger, has increased tremendously from 2011 and particularly in 2012. The movement of passengers and, of course, goods along these very important channels have improved.
Well, the way it is, I think we are yet to get a feel of some of these other means of transportation which we just highlighted, which is, the water transportation. The last we heard is what you just told us about the dredging has, proper business, so to speak, within the water transportation system.
I beg your pardon?
I said, has proper business, has it taken off properly when we talk about water transportation now?
Yes, business is going on along the dredge channel, but we will attain a better height when we complete the construction of the various river ports. Currently, we are developing the Baro River Port. Onitsha River Port has been completed and commissioned. We are now in the process of commissioning that particular port. Lokoja River Port is equally under construction. So as soon as we finish these ports, more economic activities will be carried out along the dredge channel. But I can confirm to you that even now, economic activities are going on because goods are being transported along the channel. Maybe you can make out time to go and investigate that.
Okay.
Not about hearing. Make out time to go and investigate that.
No, when we talk about, sorry, Nyota, when we talk about not about hearing, that was why we were asking you about the patronage for the rail system. And perhaps I should come back to that. That was why we asked that question. It is evident, apart from commissioning and when it has been commissioned, that's the only time those in government take a ride in those the rail lines, in those rail systems. So people have been saying perhaps the way you jump into a bus or a sub-train station and you get to see your Prime Minister, why can't we, for once, get to know that, someone who is in government is coming to another destination and he or she is having a train ride with the citizens? There is a disconnect in all of these provisions of government to the people.
Anybody that wants to enter the train can go and enter. Nobody will be forced to take a particular means of transportation. If you choose to travel by road, nobody will force you to travel by rail. If you choose to travel by air, nobody will force you to travel by road.
Mr. Minister,
if you choose to travel by rail, nobody will force you to travel by road.
I understand. The logic here is that it is good enough.
It's a question of, it's a matter of choice.
The logic here is that if it's good enough, then those who have chosen to provide it for the people would also have a taste of it.
I beg your pardon?
We're still on patronage.
Probably you seem to be too much in a hurry. Remember, these rail lines have been comatose for over 25 years, like I've said before. They are just being brought back to life. We flagged off the commencement of the train service from Lagos to Kano only in December last year. And therefore, you do not expect that by now all the railway stations will be flooded by everybody, irrespective of the class. Certainly, it will take some time. As we continue to improve the services, people can continue to get attracted. And as the private sector is brought in to improve the services in partnership with us, more passengers will be attracted, irrespective of their class.
Honorable Minister, what's the ultimate plan, or how long would it take for us to get a fully integrated transport system in this country?
We have a 25-year strategic development plan for the railway system. Like I said, carrying out the rehabilitation and then constructing the standard gauge lines. The idea is to make sure under the strategic plan that all these lines I have mentioned are developed, all major economic centers are linked up, the state capitals are linked up, all the airports and the major seaports are linked up eventually under the 25-year strategic railway development plan.
Okay, your 25-year development plan, that's for the railway system. What about the waterways, the road system? Plus, what's the guarantee that by the time you're done, the next administration will not truncate that 25-year plan and move on to another plan?
That is why, you see, this thing is about commitment and about institutionalization. Right now, we are working on a number of bills to be transmitted to the National Assembly. Very soon, these bills are going to be passed on to the Federal Executive Council for deliberation, approval, and subsequent transmittal to the National Assembly for passage into law. Then we have the railway bill, seeking to allow the private sector to play a very significant role, allowing the state and local governments to partake in the ownership operation of the railway system. And of course, we have the Transport Commission Bill, which is seeking to establish a transport commission, which is going to play a commercial regulatory role for the entire transport sector, the rail, the roads, the water transportation, the ports, and others. So the idea is to institutionalize this so that subsequent governments will come and continue to adopt it. Matthew, the 25-year strategic plan was already, the concept was made about 10 years ago. However, it is this government that has taken the lead in making sure that it actualizes this particular dream. And the fact that we are doing it right, the fact that we are involving the private sector, the fact that we are institutionalizing it by passing this various legislation is a sure guarantee that subsequent governments are going to continue where we stop, where the government of Mr. President will stop eventually in years to come.
All right, Mr. Minister, just before you go, do you think the aviation ministry should actually be under the transport sector?
I beg your pardon?
The aviation ministry. Do you think it should be fused into the transport sector?
No, I don't share that view, honestly speaking.
Why not?
Aviation is very large and it needs to be on its own. That's my personal opinion.
Okay, there's this thing that we see which raises a lot of concern, but just in case you don't know, where passengers who are supposed to be inside the train are on the flanks or on top of it all through the journey. Who's supposed to check that?
Well, the stubborn operation in the railway are supposed to ensure that those lying on top of the trains do not do that. But I know that they are always inundated with this kind of challenges. Sometimes they delay the train for 30 minutes, 1 hour, to convince some of these passengers to please kindly come down from the top of the trains. But of course, like I said, this is again about the excitement this development has brought to this country. Very soon this problem is going to be over because we are going to get additional coaches and wagons and locomotives. And therefore it is about the number of coaches that we have that is causing this challenge. But like I said, the private sector has, a lot of people have indicated interest in coming to partners with us to bring in additional rolling stock so as to assuage this problem.
Okay, then thank you very much indeed for speaking with us today on Sunrise Daily.
Thank you very much.
All right, and there you have it. Idris Umar, Minister of Transport, speaking to us about the plan that they've got for not just this year, it says a 25-year plan.